Hello, I am Jaime Elizondo from Real Wealth Ranching, and I would like to talk today about an objection that people tell me time and again. That is, if they graze the plant down heavily, they will damage the plant and its roots. Well, I want to tell you that's not so, and I want to explain how you do not harm well-recovered grass plants by grazing them down when you wait for them to be well recovered. Of course, if you come back frequently and graze it down to the ground many times, as in conventional grazing, continuous grazing, where livestock come and graze a plant and it's regrowth as soon as it's tall enough for them to grasp it, you will kill it. Yes, because grass plants create energy in their green leaves, and that energy, the excess, they store it in the ground and the roots. So when you're grazing and regrazing often, too fast or too frequently, you're going to deplete the energy reserves. The roots will become shorter. The plant will die if you do it for long enough, and that's what causes brush and invasive species to take over your paddocks, your pasture. So we don't want that, right? But let me explain why this happens. What I just described, grazing and regrazing too frequently, is called overgrazing. Overgrazing happens whenever we graze a plant in its baby stage, when it is too young. We all know that. But I want you to visualize the whole farm with the grass, the soil, and your livestock, and your monetary needs. It all comes together. You're going to like this. Okay, so what harms your grasses, your forages the most? Well, you said it, overgrazing, when we graze them before they have recovered well enough. Okay? Now, I said that green leaves produce energy through photosynthesis, right? With chlorophyll, it turns them green. Okay, so energy is produced by photosynthesis, while energy is consumed by respiring. Which part of the plant, the grass plant, produces energy? The green leaves. Which other part doesn't produce energy but consumes energy by respiring? Aerial part. The stems. So, when we allow a selective grazing, trying to leave a remnant, a residual, let's say 4 inches, whatever the gurus say in their selective rotational grazing systems or programs, what is going to really happen is that your livestock will select the best leaves and the best species and reject the rest, stems and the non-desirable species. And they will take over your pasture because they will be grazing and regrazing, overgrazing your best species due to selective grazing. And it doesn't stop there. When these best species die because of overgrazing, the undesirable species take over and don't allow these desirable species to come back. You know why? Because when the seedlings of these better species germinate and are tall enough for livestock to grasp them and pull them out of the ground with the roots and all, livestock return to graze it. Because when we have a high stocking rate and we practice rotational selective grazing, we will always fall into overgrazing. So these seedlings that are very important for recruitment of individuals of the best species just cannot survive the livestock returning too fast. If you have a high harvest efficiency, like in the total grazing or non-selective grazing that we use year-round most of the time, you will need to come back twice as fast as if you did a more high harvest efficiency grazing, where you harvest double on a well-recovered plant of what you would under a selective rotational grazing. This means two things. No, three things. The best seedlings of your desirable, the seedlings of your desirable species will have time in the stockpiled area to grow and establish and reproduce. A non-selective grazing of well-recovered plants in less than 3 days allows you to do that, to defer whole paddocks. We don't call leftovers stockpile. No, that's wrong. Stockpile is purposely left to stockpile whole paddocks for the whole growing season. And that is where these seedlings can take hold. And that's how we recruit the very necessary best species seedlings, while we also create a standing hay reserve for winter or dry season that allows us to save around $300 per cow per year, or cheap equivalent. So it's very important, right? But I said there were three advantages to this. The third one is the humus creation, or the long-lived organic carbon in your soil that is created when and only when you stockpile forages, because that's when they can grow deeper roots, higher energy reserves, and their root exudates, that sugary high energy liquid that plants return to the soil via their roots to feed the soil microbes, which in turn make nutrients available for the plant. Well, it's sugary when you're grazing frequently the plant, but when you allow them to rest long enough to become what I call happy plants, the exudates change from sugary to fatty. And then the microbes consuming those exudates get fat. And it has been determined that we need fat produced per acre to create more long-lived organic carbon in our soil. So it all comes together, and we alternate those areas in the Total Grazing Program every year. And then we have the highest energy reserves in the roots when the green season returns on the paddocks that we were stockpiling. So you see how it all comes together. Under a rotational selective grazing system, program, or style, your stocking rate, the number of productive animals you can maintain per farm per year, will be around half of what you can get with the Total Grazing Program. And this comes from higher harvest efficiency and minimizing overgrazing allowed by doing non-selective grazing. So I know it sounds scary at first that we're going to take the plant down to the ground and wow, that's going to leave the soil bare. No, it doesn't. It doesn't stay bare. I have lots of pictures everywhere around the world. My students, no, you don't leave bare soil. It's sufficiently covered. But what really protects your soil, the soil aggregates, the soil life, which is under the soil surface, not on top, is strong roots of closely spaced desirable plants with a high leaf to stem ratio. That's what you need, not a lot of residual left behind that consumes energy by respiring and becomes older and ranker with time. No, you need to know how humus is created. It's not by litter or crop residues or manure or urine. It is by these microbes that get fat, only by them. 80% of the new humus created or organic carbon in your soil per year comes that way. So it's good that you understand this and start observing. By the way, this has only been known for the last 9 years, not before, and that's why people didn't know that, and they came up with these theories of selective grazing. Okay, well, I hope this has been good for you, interesting at least, and that I can get you to try some of this. At least to be interested, because I want you to know how you can greatly improve your profitability while you improve your land the fastest. Thank you for listening and have a great day.